Ah, lovely routine. Yes, back to the routine. Alright, sucks. But anyway, yeah, making a video, as I often do. Alright, anyway, so I'm on the subject of communication. The whole point of this thing, the whole idea of being philosophers, is that, yeah, you don't have to wait 1,000 years for somebody to read the book or something like that. Need to get something done. I mean, the whole point in understanding the mechanism is to fix the circumstance, to do something about it. And you really can't do that as individuals. Those kind of fixes have to come from the human race. So we're down to this communication thing. How do you communicate with all these different people? So that's what it is. You know, it's just this idea that you got to get to them all, and they're all coming at it from really different, I don't know, themes, areas of jargon. You know, it's almost like the clique thing again. You got the jocks and the freaks and the nerds and the... So there's all kinds of social constructs that are built a lot like that. You know, there's polite people, patriotic people, capitalists. You know, they all have different ideologies, and you've got to somehow have the conversation. So anyway, I went into Stickam last night because, you know, Brett Keane has a group or whatever, and Venom Fang X was in there, and I thought, oh, super, this would be pretty cool. I can have a conversation with Venom Fang X. An argument, whatever you want to call it. You know, but he's just such a game player with words. So it's a nice challenge. I mean, you have to concede, he's just really good at shoveling shit. And so, anyway. So yeah, I hit him with a couple of the obvious questions like, you know, I'm not a disingenuous person. I would like to have this relationship with the godly one, but I think he's fucking batshit insane. It's like having a relationship with Jeffrey Dahmer. Why the fuck would I do that? It's even worse than, well, no, maybe it's not worse. About equal. Because God did get upset at himself, you know, after the whole Noah thing. You know, he did say, whoops. The perfect one did say, whoops, I made a mistake. Strange, the perfect one would do that. And, you know, new covenant, new covenant, new covenant. Well, anyway, I just asked a simple question, you know, why can't this God do the carrot thing instead of the whip thing? And anyway, Venom Fang X was talking around it, like pretending there's no hell now. You know, in one video he talks about how you're going to be tortured forever and ever and ever. And then now he's talking like hell just means God says, go sit in the corner. I don't like you. Yeah. Oh, God's going to hurt my feelings for eternity. Oh. Yeah, that doesn't scare me near as much. You know, as that being on fire forever. But anyway. So anyway, yeah, it was a little bit of a hostile. I mean, I wasn't letting Venom Fang X preach. You know, I wasn't going to sit through his six-minute answers to simple questions. So, anyway, so some asshole kicked me out of the room. That kind of sucked. But I was pretty polite. I mean, I don't think I swore much. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not worried about the kicking thing. It was just the idea of this conversation. That this is who you have to talk to. You have to talk to all these different kinds of people. And they believe this crap for all kinds of different reasons. So I don't think Venom Fang X is sincere. I don't think he really believes this mumbo jumbo. He just thinks humans need it. That without it, they'll just be nasty bastards. Because he doesn't understand the development of ethics as a logical consequence of just doing simple logic. I'm conscious, that thing's conscious, I can't win if I suck its blood. I mean, it's just the vampire logic. I mean, if you can be a vampire, you're pretty dumb, right? I mean, what, you're gonna eat something just as good as yourself? I mean, that's just being stupid. I mean, that logic is inescapable. And the only way you can escape is to be just really, really stupid. So maybe he thinks everybody's really, really stupid, which I could understand, but it's still bullshit. The truth is the truth. You got to honor that first. That's almost biblical. The Word, and the Word is everything. And that's the other thing about this whole God reverence thing. I mean, God was about the Word, not the God, not having a name. He's not even supposed to have a name. You're not even supposed to be calling him God. He is that he is. That's what you're supposed to call him. That is. Sir isness. Anyway, he be what he be. See, that's how you have to change the lingo for each group you're talking to. You'd have to, you ghetto it a little bit, and then for the fancier people, you have to stick your pinky out, maybe. Hello, may I speak to you about some concerns I have that, this whole sentient experiment might be a horrible failure? Yes, I just have some minor concerns regarding the efficacy of this sentient experiment on planet Earth. Yeah. So, may I speak to you? May I talk to you about my concerns? Whatever you have to do. However you have to blow the smoke to get people to listen to the argument. And that's the trick, is to keep them there listening long enough to snap the trap of logic on them, because they get turned off too easily. They love cotton candy, they love football, they love Ronald Reagan, whatever the fuck it is. And if you're not really careful, you're going to offend one of those things they love, like their race or their nationalism or their babies. And as soon as you do that, they're going to shut down and just become defensive and just try to maintain the rationalization that, oh, I see where you're going with this. You're going to attack my dogma and my bullshit and my fantasies and my fallacies about what's going on planet Earth. And you're going to challenge me to somehow demonstrate the existence of the magical multiverse with the, flying pink unicorn cliche bullshit. And, but there's all these different kinds of people. Just coming from so many different perspectives. Like the Matt, or the Professor Anton, or the wise ass monkey, or the gray text, or the right down the list. And they all have key concepts that they're really attached to. Like, this is what I understand. This is my definition of this thing we're in. And if you, like I said, if you start to imply that you intend to pull those rugs of support out from under them, they'll get defensive. And then the conversation's sort of over, because now it's just going to be a war of, rationalizing rhetoric. And that's just very disappointing. And then there's the other part of this where, most people are just saying, show me some cartoons. I want cartoons. I want a comic book. I don't want reality. I don't want to form words and cognate expressions of my humanity that have any meaning or substance at all. I mean, they just totally want to just bail on the whole idea of being a real, serious human that takes responsibility for being a real, serious human. One of the cement things is missing. I guess I will have to go fetch it. Must be down there. How far can it go, right? So anyway, I have to get wet again, damn it. Really annoying. Plunge. Ugh. Alright. Yuck. 1 foot wet again. Alright, anyway. So yeah, but this is what we really got to work on. I mean, I can't keep pretending I'm getting somewhere here with talking to the same people over and over and over. Do have to expand the audience. So somehow I gotta I gotta put some cartoon in here, and then I gotta, see, that's the thing though, you gotta, I mean, it's like, somehow they'll know you're being sneaky. So it has to be well disguised cartoon, because as soon as they see something real popping out of the cartoon, like a message, oh, the movie had a message, fuck that, I don't want no messages, don't be sending messages to me, you know, then you're screwed. But you do have to get to them. I mean, ultimately, somehow you have to make it meaningful. You have to somehow put them or get them back in the game. Get them to want to be a human and to connect with what it is to be a human. And we can only really do that through these expressions of sentences and metaphor. I mean, I guess we can do it through poetry and music, but it seems sort of the vague, long way around. I mean, it's a powerful tool, no doubt about it, and stories are definitely a good tool. But like I said, if you get too preachy, that'll turn them off, and it turns them off in ways that are just so negative. It's almost like the truther thing. I mean, you get enough of these wackos out there, you know, talking about 2012 and the Mayan calendar and, you know, 9/11, and then all of a sudden you can't trust anybody who's saying anything from sort of out there in the shadows, and then they all sound like truthers. So, you know, when the real deal shows up, some guy who's got real insider information, you know, we're all going to be deaf because we've already labeled that kind of thing a truther. And I guess I've already been labeled some sort of, you know, angry misanthrope. I am messy. Some malcontent, some petty, bitter little sad sack, some loser. And so, yeah, I just been classified and thrown in my category, and the button was pressed and the little machine went cha-ching, and that's it. Sorry, I'm spitting a little. I don't know. Yeah, nothing. Brain's not doing all the functions correctly lately. But anyway, yeah, so that's definitely something I got to work on. Got to do the magic bullet of utteration thing. Have a Brando moment somewhere. You know, the right words spoken the right way, in the right mood, wearing the right underwear, and bingo, there you go. It works. So, yeah, but we definitely got to start doing some viraling, or we got to do some mainstreaming, or we got to leach into these other areas, and it's really hard to do, like I said, because it's just, for me, just because my personality is so aggressive and raw and tired. Yeah, I guess that's the main thing. I'm just really tired. You know, I've been arguing with life in my whole life, and I'm tired of it. And that's, I guess to somebody who understands, you know, that shows. And then somebody who doesn't understand, it just looks like I'm taking shortcuts. And I'm not. I just can't do the minutia anymore. I can't do the platitudes and all the bullshit. I just want to get to it. You know, I just got no patience for, you know, decades of foreplay. And that part of that's just making excuses, I suppose, because I just don't want to change who I am to suit whatever the rules of conformity are. And again, I don't even know if it's it's so tricky because it's not as simple as, well, just put on a prettier dress, Gary. Yeah, and comb your hair, and wear some earrings and some makeup. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Yeah, whatever it would be, you know, clean myself up, improve my demeanor, shave regularly and whatnot. But yeah, so that's not going to work on everybody either. That's not going to appeal to the ghetto types. So, you know, that's going to look like a, you know, more talking head, conventional, you know, big brother government or big brother corporation speak. So I think it's more nuanced to find something that works on everybody. Some sort of, you know, penicillin kind of thing that only a few people can be allergic to, that most people can take. Yeah, so anyway, that's how I am thinking about it. I haven't figured out exactly the mode of attack. So I noticed that in Metamorph's book, Jim, you know, he's a very articulate, well-written book, and there are a few, you know, swear words in there, or, you know, rough talk, you know, testicle kind of talk, and it's very, very light doses, and you're almost like, well, maybe you shouldn't have bothered. I mean, that is more you, it's more honest, but it's like, yeah, you can just see some person who's, you know, oh, he's just one of these, he's just a druggie and a dirty mouth, you know, pig head, you know, because he said the word poo or shit. And damn, that's just so irritating that we have to keep tap dancing up to people. You know, we all got to do like some sort of, I don't know, what was that stupid puppet's name? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, some sort of Dick Van Dyke thing or something. You know, Disney. We have to be like a Disney character. And yeah, just not appealing. And I certainly don't think I could do that spontaneously. I mean, you know, as I'm thinking and talking, I don't think I could put that much of a facade on my personality and still get away with it. I mean, still think. It's almost like speaking the wrong language and doing a walk and talk. I mean, there's some people that probably can do that kind of shit. I just, you know, yeah, yeah, I just don't got the brain for it. So anyway, yeah, that's probably enough of a video. But this is a problem. We do have to broaden the conversation. Do have to communicate with all kinds, no matter how irritating, because they're all psychologies that ultimately you got to find a way to get them to hear the argument. And I mean really listen to it, to hear it, to understand that no one intends them harm, no one intends them any offense, no one intends to take from them meaning and value. I mean, the intent is to be fair. The intent is to honor logic. These are good things, damn it. And it's got to be a priority. And so if logic demands that we be a little, we slow down. We stop and we say, wait a minute, there is some doubt here. There are some questions that have to be more explicitly answered. And we just can't keep pushing this thing, his cart, until we know what kind of road we're pushing it down. This is important, and we got to be careful. You know, welfares are at stake. And the last thing we want to do, I mean, anybody, we all should agree, the last thing we want to do is do something called waste suffering. I mean, I shouldn't get any argument from that. We don't want to waste any suffering. And it seems the best way to do that is to figure out, is there a road and can we pass it? You can't show up at the, you can't get halfway down the bridge and then realize, it isn't going to support your weight. That's not going to work. And that's the way we're functioning. And that's the definition of waste. Because you're going to have to, crash, burn, crawl back up, and do it all over again. And it doesn't seem we learned that lesson. Well, anyway, kind of a discouraging ending. But it's, lovely day. No hurricanes floating around. So, good enough. And such. And so forth. What the hell do you have the gas company here for?